Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening, I'm Zachary Balog, and you are watching MediaPlex News Now. City Council has agreed to work with Windsor Salt in accessing new salt reserves. The salt located under municipal and provincial land is required to ensure the company does not run out within the next 5 to 10 years. The city's approval comes with caution to ensure the local environment is protected. With spring comes people hitting the streets for something to eat. Cade Ryan has the story.
Last year's on-street patio program will be in effect again this year, as the City of Windsor has waived the fees associated with opening an outdoor patio for restaurants and bars. Due to COVID-19 and the limited amount of seating indoors, several restaurants and bars in downtown Windsor will be opening an outdoor patio in April. Craft Heads Brewing Company, Terracotta Pizzeria, and Queen Ashtar Restaurant will be sharing a parklet cafe that will occupy the parking spaces in front of the businesses. For Brian Daytalk, the owner of Craft Heads Brewing Company, the removal of fees associated with outdoor patios proved to be crucial last year.
No, it's definitely gave us a lifeline last year with all the restrictions. The patio allows us to safely have patrons outside, being able to enjoy the sun safely from socially distanced from everyone else. It was one of the things where a lot of the residents downtown wanted something like this for a while, pre-COVID. It just helps us, kind of all the businesses downtown, especially Terracotta and Queen Ashtar, to benefit from the patios.
Craft Heads, Terracotta Pizzeria, and Queen Ashtar will have their outdoor patio opening on April 1st. Other businesses in downtown Windsor will have their outdoor patio opening on the 2nd and the 5th. For MediaPlex News, I'm Cade Ryan.
Let's head outside for an early look at the weather with Simranjeet Kaur. Simranjeet.
Thanks, Zach. Right now it's little breezy, but a warm 18 degrees Celsius. And overnight we can expect some rain. Stay tuned and I will be back a little later in the show with our 3-day forecast.
Let's catch up with our friends at Crime Stoppers and Constable Sarah Wernstein.
The Windsor Police Service Major Crime Branch is seeking any information that may help identify a suspect that brandished a firearm during a reported road rage incident on March 26th at 11:30 p.m. in the area of the 2200 to 2300 block of Howard Avenue. The suspect vehicle is described as a 4-door red sedan with tinted windows. The suspect is described as a male, 20 to 30 years old, brown skin, 5'11", 200 pounds, short dark hair, wearing a black coat and light color khakis. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Windsor Police Major Crime Branch or Crime Stoppers anonymously at 519-258-TIPS or online at www.catchcrooks.com. I'm Police Coordinator Sarah Wernstein.
The world of weight loss is changing. Javon Aurora tells us more.
The use of weight loss supplement is growing rapidly. According to Statistics Canada report, obesity rate in 2019 were over 30% in people between 18 to 24 years old. People over the age of 50 have the maximum obesity rate. Manshik Gaba is a personal trainer at Good Life Fitness.
Yes, supplements for the weight loss are good, but if you're just depending on the supplements but not going in the calorie deficient, you will not get as desired results you are looking for.
There are so many companies such as Herbalife, Amway, Watchers, Shaklee, and many more that make weight loss supplements. Vish Malik is a manager at Metro in Brampton who recently used Herbalife products.
When I used it, I started losing weight and I was feeling happy. And once I stopped using the product, I start gaining the weight. I don't know why.
Fitness trainers believe caloric deficit and good quality food is the key to weight loss. For MediaPlex News, I am Jeevan Arora.
Event planning looks a little different at St. Clair due to COVID. Jessica Tatton reports.
It's game night at St. Clair College, but this year is a little different. With COVID-19 restrictions on public gatherings, the public relations program has turned to online for their games. Adrian Dascano, a student in the program, is part of the planning process to bring students together once more.
On April 11th at 3 p.m., we will be having 4 separate trivia rooms, each with their own unique categories. The first category is pop culture, TV, and film. The next one is local food and restaurant trivia, which is mine. The third one is history and geography of the world. And the last one is music and celebs. Each room will be hosted by their own unique host separately at the same time.
Groups in public relations have come together behind the scenes to gather sponsors, research, and planning the event.
I'm looking forward to seeing the reactions of our participants and anyone who signs up, because I always like interacting with new people.
Join the St. Clair College Public Relations Program on April 11th at 3 p.m. for your chance to win a special prize while playing fun games with students you haven't met yet. For more information, visit the Facebook page, 402 Trivia Night. With MediaPlex News, I'm Jessica Tatton.
There are some negative and positive aspects in the clothing business during COVID. Liam Major has the story.
There's a huge market for the resale of merchandise these days, but do the positives of being a reseller outweigh the negatives? Resale can be quite complicated, with many intricacies and a lot of depth. Botting, backdooring, and flipping are just some examples of key terms resellers need to know. Despite all of the technological aspects to it, at the end of the day, there has to be people behind all the selling and buying, and the human aspects of resale are just as important. @BinKicks is a resale page on Instagram with over 1,600 followers, based out of Sarnia, Ontario. The owner of the page named a few key challenges involving reselling, saying that it's a lot of work to maintain a positive image for clients and social media, and that there's always competition waiting to take customers. However, the owner listed more positives than negatives, and said that it is a quick way to earn money, connect with people with similar interests, capitalize on trends, and come across rare merchandise. Though being a successful reseller is a lot of work, there is potential that an Instagram page could be turned into a business, a shop, or even a career. For MediaPlex News, I'm Liam Major.
Happiness isn't always materialistic. Wafa Al-Kadimi explains.
Good afternoon. This minute is to inspire you and to talk about happiness. Everyone wants to be happy. People try different things to find happiness, but sometimes they find their hearts empty. Why? Because they are looking for happiness in the wrong places. The first step for happiness is within you. You have to love yourself. It is important to appreciate your strength, but at the same time, you have to embrace your flaws because you can work on them. You can work around them. But also you have to love them. In the end, it is you. You should love yourself the way you are. No one is perfect, but every person is unique. Also, you may find happiness in helping others, walking with friends, enjoying nature, enjoying the sunset, looking at a baby. Many things can be reasons for happiness, but when you start counting these beautiful things, don't forget to include yourself. And always remember, it is said that 1 minute of anger can make you lose 60 seconds of happiness. Thanks for tuning in. I am Wafa Al-Kadimi.
Thanks, Wafa. There are changes in the COVID-19 restrictions for restaurants. Tristan Zuderveen tells us more.
While the city of Windsor is still in red zone, COVID-19 restrictions are being adjusted to allow restaurants to seat more guests. As of March 20th, new capacity limits now allow for 50% of the indoor dining area to be accessible to the public. Tom Satiriadis, co-owner of Milos Greek Grill in downtown Windsor, is eager to open more of the restaurant, but says that the pandemic is still far from over.
Normally, without COVID, we would be at 150 customers inside and out combined, and right now we're at 80. I think there's a lot of people that are very antsy to open for many reasons. A lot of people, their livelihood, they're losing businesses, losing residents. It's caused a financial, economic problem. And so there's people that are following and not following guidelines. And so I think that's going to slow us down a little bit. I think we're going to continue this path at least for another year.
With restaurants opening up to half capacity with respect to standard social distancing rules, Windsor is one step closer to recovery. For MediaPlex News, I'm Tristan Zuderveen.
Social media is rising rapidly, especially after the COVID-19 lockdown. Albert Sharp has the story.
I don't think the easiest path for me has ever been the path that actually made things work, you know?
When you think of activism, people typically think of sit-ins, protests, and rallies. However, in the modern era, people are taking their missions online. According to content creator Dara and Fun, people have a variety of ways to spread the messages they care about on the internet.
On TikTok, people often just make videos talking about the certain issues, trying to raise awareness or to say their own stories, their own perspective, as well as like providing links. Like they say they have links in their link tree and stuff. Same with Instagram, is more informational posts.
Social media activism has seen a rise over the last year, with associated hashtags setting new all-time records. As TikTok creator Priscilla Espiritu explains, social media and in-person activism both have their place in making change.
There are places where real progress has been made, and a lot of it is just working with people that can be worked with.
Whether on the web or in your backyard, activists urge you to make your efforts intentional.
And it almost feels like they're completely different spheres.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp.
Today, St. Clair College has completed 1 year of delivering courses online. Cade Ryan has more.
Today marks the 1 year anniversary of the majority of courses moving online at St. Clair College. While some classes have returned to in-person learning, many programs are still exclusively online. The Business Administration Marketing Program and the Business Marketing Program were both affected by COVID-19 in the way that they had to shift to online learning. For Program Coordinator Justina Chiarello, moving online wasn't a big switch, but it still presented challenges.
So, marketing research, social media marketing, all of that kind of stuff, it's very conducive to being online. So it wasn't a big switch for me. But having said that, I've had other projects. I used to do a project where it was a big networking project. So I'd have students, kind of network with each other in the classroom. And so definitely had to rethink the way that those kind of projects either redesign the assessments or just kind of rethink how to do that in an online format.
But the courses that still have classes in person, student, teachers, and staff are required to complete a COVID questionnaire before reporting on campus. For MediaPlex News, I'm Cade Ryan.
The fight for gender equality continues, but as Wafa Al-Qudimi reports, there are instances that can remind us how far we've come.
It is March, Women's History Month. The month for looking at the future, but also celebrating trailblazing women worldwide. From Jean Mance, the founder of Canada's first hospital, to the first female officers served with the Canadian Army Medical Corps, women continue their important roles in the society. Ellen van Wegningen is one of the first pioneers in her field. She was appointed as the first female editor-in-chief of the Windsor Star in 2016.
So I think we should celebrate all firsts for women, and it's a reminder that we still have quite a long way to go. I was hoping in my lifetime that we would see the end of firsts, that it would become the norm for women to be in all positions, all kinds of jobs, all kinds of occupations, all kinds of political positions.
Working as a female with the police department deserves to be celebrated. Sergeant Yvonne Ouimet is the Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Coordinator.
So for me, Women's History Month is about celebrating the achievements of women in our community, and specifically for me, it's for the women police officers that came before me.
From the long journey, women asking for their rights in voting towards equality of rights, women have and endure to ease the way for a better equal world. For MediaPlex News, I am Wafa Al-Qudimi.
Despite COVID, the arts in Windsor are alive and well. Albert Sharp reports.
The stage is set for Windsor Feminist Theatre to premiere their latest piece. Letters to Grace is a play based on the book Amazing Grace by Marty Gervais. It is a series of monologues covering letters from nurses to Grace Hospital during World War II. According to lead actress Kiana Porter, this production is not one to be missed.
Well, this one is a wonderful story, and because it's a true story, I feel like it's kind of a little bit more heartfelt just because you get to actually see what these nurses went through, and you get to learn about the tight-knit community.
The show is going to be performed at the Water's Edge Event Center on Riverside Drive. Now, before the production's ready to be staged here at Water's Edge, there's a little more work to be done behind the scenes. While most of the rehearsal process has been over Zoom, the cast has begun working in person under current COVID-19 restrictions.
We had the ensemble was rehearsing, and we had our vocal chorus, a few of them who could make it. And we quickly toured the space and then rehearsed outside in the parking lot and in the little courtyard area of the Water's Edge Event Center.
Opening night is March 24th. For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp.
Simranjeet Kaur takes a look at how a Windsor nonprofit is holding a virtual fundraiser for mental health.
United Way started funding called iMove, mainly for the mental support of youth from March 8. The COVID-19 has had hard impact on mental health of youth and children as compared to other population. United Way invited people to set achievable fitness goals and to collect pledges to support them across Windsor, Essex. Karen Brady is the Marketing and Communications Manager at the United Way.
We've always supported the most vulnerable in our community, and we've done that in many different ways. So we normally invest every year in different initiatives.
The event is not a proper people gathering. It is just a virtual platform via Zoom. You can follow the hashtag #IMoveForUnitedWay to see who is involved. Registration is now open at www.weareunited.com/imove. For MediaPlex News, I am Simranjeet Kaur.
Reading is important for many reasons, and Jessica Tatton tells us why.
When someone asks you what your favorite book is, what do you say? If you aren't a reader, you may not have an answer. Don't worry, I'm guilty of it too. Reading may sound like a tiring task for some, but is what they say about reading really true? The short answer is yes. According to Harvard Medical School and Yale University School of Public Health, reading can add years to your life. People who read books regularly have a 20% lower risk of dying over the next 12 years, compared with people who aren't readers. Reading also helps prevent disorders like dementia. Researchers from the Mayo Clinic studied the daily habits of 200 people with mild memory disorders. They found that middle-aged readers who devoted time to reading face 40% less risk of experiencing further memory impairment. So pick up a book once a while. It could brighten your day or save your life.
There are many stresses in our life, and Tristan Zuderveen is here with some tips to help us cope.
At some point in their lives, nearly 30% of adults are affected by some form of anxiety disorder. This, however, is not the same as generalized anxiety. Nearly every person on the planet has experienced moments of anxiety. Realizing you forgot to study for that math test, noticing your phone is on 1% battery, the never-ending cycle of wondering if you remembered where you left your keys. Normal anxiety like this relates to a specific situation and only lasts as long as the problem does. A proportional level of panic that is realistic in comparison to the issue. Anxiety disorders aren't as simple. When faced with a situation or problem, those afflicted by an anxiety disorder are prone to respond much stronger than expected to the stress. Even after the issue is resolved, doubt and worry may linger for a long time. Feelings of anxiety may come up for no reason at random times, and, despite there being no conflict, it can feel impossible to manage. Much of the anxiety that arises from these disorders may be unrealistic, like an overwhelming fear of a situation that will probably never occur. Whether you're facing a poor report card or an endless chain of what-ifs, it is important to learn to manage anxiety in whatever way works for you. I'm Tristan Zuderveen.
Let's rejoin Simranjeet outside for a look at our 3-day forecast. Simranjeet?
Today, although it's spring, it looks like a summer, but that is about to change. Let's have a look at our 3-day forecast. Wednesday, we can expect some showers with a high of 8. Thursday, there is chance of flurries with a high of 4. And on Good Friday, it will be sunny with a high of 9. That's it from me from the corner of University and Victoria. Back to you in studio, Zach.
Sticking with weather, wish you and your family were more prepared for a possible natural disaster? I got you covered. Whether it be severe thunderstorms or tornadoes, both can cause a catastrophic outcome, so I will be sharing some tips on how to keep you and your family safe. First, go to the basement or a small interior room and stay away from windows. This will keep you safe from shattered glass. Second, have a weather radio next to you in case of nocturnal tornadoes. It will sound an alarm to wake you up when a warning is issued, because if there is one in your neighborhood, you might not see it coming, and then it may be too late. Lastly, if you are on the road and you see a tornado coming, pull over and do not outrun it. Instead, get into a ditch. Yes, I said a ditch. Remember, you can't outrun a tornado can outrun you. I hope those tips helped you for the storm season that lies ahead. For this Weather Minute, I'm Zachary Balog. Now that the weather is turning nice, Gracie Lowe's has some suggestions on what to do.
What do running, playing at the park, and throwing a football all have in common? They're all easy ways to stay active outside. It's been proven that being active and exercising outside can have more benefits than going to the gym. With the weather warming up, now is the time to put on your shoes and enjoy what's right outside your door. The Canadian government says that only 2 out of 10 adults and 1 out of 10 children meet the Canadian Physical Activity Guidelines a year.
Fashion, design, and function all come together in this story by Liam Major.
How do you put on your shoes? There's a good chance that you use shoelaces, but Nike has been releasing models lately that aim to be accessible to those that can't. However, the newest model from Nike's accessible shoe line is thought by some to not be so accessible after all. The new Nike Go Fly Ease model, releasing March 19th, is designed to easily snap onto the wearer's foot, as well as snap off all completely hands-free. The shoes are currently unreleased, except for a members-only drop on the Nike website. However, models have already appeared on websites like StockX, where pairs are selling for over $500 USD. Gabriel and Cooper Riazzi are a couple from Akron, Ohio. Gabriel says that there are many different health factors that these shoes could assist with, and that people with those factors should get access first.
Cooper said, his grandma could use it. She's 92. She can't tie shoes currently. Someone like Cooper, and Cooper's been through a lot medically in the last year and has lost some movement. Help those that need access to it get it. Just make more of shoes with this technology.
Cooper has had physical issues for years, and he says that these shoes could be revolutionary, but that Nike is limiting them.
It changes their routine, but unfortunately I'm unable to be guaranteed a pair, and those people are unfortunately guaranteed not to get a pair because people that don't need them medically are going to get first dibs on all that stuff.
The Riazzi suggested that Nike should provide a channel to ensure those who need the shoes get them on their feet first. For MediaPlex News, I'm Liam Major.
Journalism students here at the MediaPlex have always participated in national competitions, but this time the entries are local. The St. Clair College Genesis Center is holding an event called the Ford Capstone Project. This competition is designed to showcase students from all programs to high-level industry executives who are potential employers. Susan Taylor, supervisor at the Genesis Entrepreneurship Center, said why this is important for the students.
It's that job interview mindset that we're looking for.
The projects presented by students can be as an individual or group and will be in the form of a 5-minute pitch outlining and showcasing either a capstone project they have worked on or other projects that showcase their innovation and skill set. Albert Sharp, a student at St. Clair College, feels very optimistic about being one of the top 20 teams chosen.
I feel confident I'm at least going to make it past this first round. I'm, fingers crossed. If I don't, I have no idea what anyone else is putting forward.
Presentations for the projects will occur on April 27th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you plan on attending the event, you are asked to pre-register. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Balog. Now let's take a special tour of the MediaPlex with Tristan Zuderveen.
In March 2020, the St. Clair College MediaPlex was temporarily closed as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Though some classes have returned to in-person learning, the shift from every day to once a week is still drastic. With the rise in popularity of virtual reality and gaming creating a new way to interact, we took it upon ourselves to create something more familiar. Redesigned to fit within the building limits of Minecraft, This full-scale replica of the MediaPlex allows us to take a tour around the campus we know and love. The computer labs and classrooms on the lower level, commonly used for students in the public relations program, are complete with seating arrangements from memory. One of 3 student lounge areas, the small kitchenette allows for snacks between classes. On the second floor, the computer lab and classrooms are readily available and usually occupied by students from the journalism and media convergence programs. Classroom 119 is the most used computer lab for journalism students, whether it be for research or editing purposes. The newsroom is the heart of the MediaPlex. For aspiring news reporters, there are 4 individual editing suites. For future radio personalities, there's a fully equipped, state-of-the-art radio production booth. And for journalists who are aiming for the spotlight, there is a professional-level TV broadcast studio and control room, making the MediaPlex a journalist's ideal home away from home. For MediaPlex News, I'm Tristan Zuderveen, logging off.
Some businesses are suffering and some are thriving during COVID. I went out to bring you this report. Brick by brick, Lego's profits are on the rise. The Danish toy brand is reporting a spike in sales during the last year, and it may be the result of the COVID-19 pandemic, which has been keeping families at home. According to the Danish toy maker, sales jumped 14% in the first half of 2020 compared to the same period the previous year. Derek Thomas Pierce, owner of the brick space Twin Sioux Bricks, said there are some themes that he has seen being purchased the most.
The Star Wars, the Harry Potter, the city stuff, and I imagine the Lego Friends.
The spike in Lego sales is also having an impact on the Lego resale market, where bricks like this are becoming increasingly difficult to find.
During the pandemic, we've been getting out one of our first custom building block sets. So we had to go on to the secondary markets to buy the bricks for these sets, because that's how we build our custom building sets. And we're finding 9 out of 10 times the stuff that we want has already been bought by somebody.
In Windsor, there is also high interest in Lego on sites like Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace. Look for sales to continue to rise as the pandemic continues. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Balog. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zachary Balog, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.